Hey there! So, are you ready for more HR laws? You are! I knew it! That's why you're here watching, right? Okay, then let's get started. Again, I just had oral surgery. Now I have a lisp because of this retainer, and I'm really sorry, but I'm doing my best. As an HR professional, I'm moving forward now, you see. As an HR professional, you have the responsibility of protecting the people in your organization. And you also have the responsibility of protecting your organization as well, okay? So, we're going to be covering the Electronic Communications Privacy Act, ECPA of 1986. This one is big because the implications for your organization, if not followed, can result in criminal penalties, civil penalties, and a huge lawsuit loss that your company does not want to have to pay out. But it's super relevant too because this is now dealing with electronic communications. And as an employee, you sometimes have laptops, you have desktop, however your organization's set up, iPads, phones, security cameras, etc. You have a plethora of electronic devices that your employer does have rights to some information, but not everything. And the ECPA is what the law that comes in and now outlines what there are rights to and what there are not. This is actually a unique piece of legislation because it is because it's composed of two different legislations, which would be the Wiretap Act and the Stored Communication Act. We're going to quickly go into those, so let me just explain what they are. But I do want you to know that there's a whole lot to these, so please look into depth because this law is kind of fascinating and it's going to be very pertinent to wherever you're working. All right, so now we're going to look at them combined. So combining them now, they provide the rules for access, use, disclosure, interpretation, and privacy protections of electronic communications. They prohibit the interception of emails and transmission and access to emails and storage. So we've now combined everything, right? The implications for an HR professional have to do with the recording of employee conversations and video monitoring. That's why you hear the warnings such as, this call may be monitored or recorded for quality purposes. That's what's protected under this act. Then when it has like cameras in the workplace to record employees or visitors' activities, that's also covered. This one is just like notices must be given to anyone subject to observation or recording. Most times it's not legal to record the actual conversation, but the activity is legal. Then when you want to look at this from a practical standpoint and what you're going to see in the workplace, just an example of this act and where you're protected is, say that you are logged in to your computer. You have your work email and you have your personal email on the computer. Your company can read the emails sent through their server on their work email. They do not, however, have the right to read your private emails. Even if you quit your company and you accidentally leave your computer up or your email logged into your computer or your iPad, whatever device they've given you, a manager cannot go back, or anybody else cannot go back and read those personal emails. That is a very severe lawsuit. To kind of get a little bit more clarity on what is defined as lawsuits, or to see how this really looks in real life, I'm going to go ahead and suggest that you look into two lawsuits that have happened. You've got the Ehling versus Monmouth, I can't say it, Monmouth. I'm going to have it in the comments below, so don't worry about what I just said. Hospital Services Corp and the Lazette versus Verizon Wireless. Those are two court cases. You couldn't audibly understand one of those, so I'm going to have it written. That will really give you a further insight. Just make sure that when you are working for an organization, you are absolutely looking into these laws, looking up and seeing what's protected and what's not, and that you're compliant, because again, this is really serious. The penalties do come in from a civil standpoint, a criminal, and the lawsuits that to pay out are super expensive. I know this is not my typical style of teaching because this law is really comprehensive, but I really do hope that this helps you in some way. Like, comment, subscribe, leave me a note and what else you need. If you want some further information, just let me know and I will comment back to you. All right, well, thanks for watching. All right, And now that we've kind of got a full comprehensive picture, I'm sorry, this one's really vague because it really does go in depth and there's only so much information I can cram in a short time. To give you a real life example of what this looks like would be to say you are an employee and say you quit your job, but your personal email is logged into the device. First off, your employee cannot read your personal email. You do have that expectation of privacy, but you quit, you leave your iPad or whatever device they've given you, and you leave your personal email logged in. It is at that point illegal for somebody to go in and read it. You did not give them access, you did not give them permission, they cannot read that. So in an instance like that, if that ex-employee were to find out, you are now dealing with a lawsuit. There are two really good court cases that just happened, or not just happened, that have happened that deal with this. I cannot say one with this retainer in. I'm going to put it in my comments below. It's something to do with like Ehling versus Monmouth-Ocean Hospital Services Corp. That I tried my best. I'm sorry. Then there's also the Sandi, Lazette versus Verizon Wireless court case. Those will give you really real life examples of what happened and how these things are determined, including with social media, and what you can expect and you can learn from these court cases. I'm not going to cover all those, but anyway, I really hope that this video has helped you in some way be able to understand a little bit more about this act. The ECPA is a really big deal. You don't want to get in a lawsuit over this. You don't want to lose the money. There's too many consequences. This one's definitely not my normal teaching style, so I apologize if it's not as helpful, but just leave me a comment letting me know if there's something that's unclear or you need some more examples. I'm more than happy to write those for you. Like always, I'm creating more videos, so make sure that you go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss any new ones. And come on, give me a like, please. You know you wanna. All right, well, thank you for watching.